Sadie Smith starring with Joe Bradley there.
He gave us a thumbs up, but he kept talking.
You know, wonderful world there. So it's all... So I think how many heats we got left? I don't actually. The problem is I haven't got the blooming timetable. I think there's a couple more to go, or 3 even. Let's have a look on what's still to come today. We have 3 more races. You've got the Primos, then the Intermaxes, and then the Comas.
Last few seconds what you said, because you gave thumbs up, so I switched away.
And I'll just honestly, Frank, I'll just stop talking, you know, and then when I'm not talking, you know I'm finished.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I did it naturally. I didn't have me.
Unfortunately, we didn't hear the interview. The audience heard the interview. He seemed very keen about life.
He was absolutely
What
ecstatic.
we most enjoyed was you both of you tried to get his helmet off, which you couldn't do.
I couldn't get his visor up. he couldn't get his gloves off. I've become the like the concierge of the Parc Fermé to get our interview, helping kids out of their helmets and stuff. But you saw that he's won his first race.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And a very important one as well, wasn't it?
No, it's the final. That's
the final of round 3 of the Kart Championship.
If you're going to win something, win the final.
How fantastic. What we got next, Nick?
A Primos. So they'll have at least 3 full starts.
Junior Primos. Now then, Junior Primos been all about Mr. Daniel Hartley. Mr. Daniel Hartley has been the winner of everything in round 1 and everything in round 2.
But not everything in round 3.
But not everything in round 3. He's having a bit of a character building weekend. I tell you who's having a great weekend. Stanley Clark is having a great weekend. Bella Fairclough has had a pretty fine.
Apart from that bog down at the start of the
absolutely, and she grabbed something back. Stanley Clark will be on the pole position with Bella Fairclough alongside. Alfie Forrester, the first on the novice plates, will start on the second row with our very own Eddie Stewart alongside. Eddie on the number 45. He's here with his mum and dad, Mark and Laura. And all the responsibility is down to Mark with the spannering. Maya Simpson shares row 3 with championship leader Daniel Hartley. And row 4, Ellis Daly, Riley Mason-Lewis. Taylor Dixon and Laurie McVeigh are on row 5. Row 6 is Oscar Pitt and Zach Kane. Leighton Kelly and Ethan Bath are on row 7. Then we've got Sophie Colwell and Tyler Davis. And then rounding off the 18 kart field is Ewan Stevenson and Thomas Butcher. That's 9 rows of Junior Max Primo, Junior Rotax Primo. Now then, what is Junior Rotax Primo?
Hang on a second. Joe?
Yes?
What is Junior Rotax Primo?
Well, Junior Rotax Primo is a class of Junior Rotax karts that are privy to the Kart Championship only. What the Kart Championship did, and the series organisers, Darren, Joe and Matty, who would do a cracking job, this championship just goes from strength to strength, doesn't it? They decided that the age group of 12 to 14 was perhaps worthy of its own class. They're exactly the same as the Junior Rotax karts, engine-wise, tyres, performance-wise. But because, you could be coming into this class at 12, 13 years old, you're racing with 15, almost 16 years old, kids that are about to become seniors. And it's like, all right, it's not quite the same as playing rugby with the fifth-year lads, is it? Or playing football with the fifth-year girls and boys, if you're 12 and 13. But it's kind of similar in approach, and I think this works well. It's not about experience. It's not about being a novice. There's some novice drivers in here, because you're invariably going to get a few novices just coming into Junior Rotax if they're taking up karting when they're 12 years old. But you've got Eddie Stewart, for instance, who ran in the Minimax Championship in the NKC last year, didn't he? Bella Fairclough, who's ran in cadets before. We've heard, the last time Bella was here 2 years ago in a cadet. So she's just, she's very young, coming into the Primo class. Stanley Clark, I'm not quite familiar with Stanley Clark or Alfie Forrester. I think we've had those two in other series that we cover, Nick, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think Alfie Forrester's name certainly rings a bell.
I saw Daniel Hartley here, who's leading the championship. I saw him here for a club round 2 months ago, where I think he just finished He either finished on the podium or just off the podium. I have to remind myself. Daniel's down the grid by dint of a snap chain, isn't he?
Yep.
In the Super Final 1.
Yeah.
He
Super
went
Heat.
out, Super Heat 1, and then he went out in Super Heat 2, and he knew what he had to do, and that was quite simple. He had to win, and that's no mean feat anywhere, and even less so. You can see how less wet the track is there with our great shot there from Martin, our cameraman, up on the unit, overlooking the quite a scenic view there, overlooking the whole of the Warden Law kart track. You can see how windy it is, and that's helping it's certainly helping the wet track get less wet. I'm not going to go anywhere near dry.
No.
And it's still very, very slippery here. It tends to stay slippery and greasy for quite a while. It takes a bit of sunshine and a bit of temperature to start getting the track back to proper dry. It always just seems less wet. And we certainly haven't got temperature, have we, Nick? It's
No.
I don't know what the temperature is. It's got to be about 7 or 8.
I think it might have ticked 9 at one point.
Wow, the balmy heights of 9 degrees.
It's been windy, but we are now dry, which is the key point. Apart from my feet, which are soaked.
Here we go.
Here we go.
They come out of the final turn towards the start.
No.
Towards the full start flags. It's pretty standard practice, this.
Not full starting.
A full starting, yes. We've got the grid in proper order, I think. Hard to do that, Nick, when I'm talking. But there you go. The championship, like I say, Daniel Hartley has been the master of this one. He won the heats, the super heats, and the final at round 1. He did exactly the same at round 2 at Glannygore. Maya Simpson is currently second in the championship. She was third podium spot for her at Glannygore in round 2. Alfie Forrester was second at Glannygore. Ellis Dealey had a second place at round 1 at Wilton Mill. Bella Fairclough on the podium at Wilton Mill as well in third place. So championship has been sort of shaken up a little bit. We've got a considerable points lead from Daniel Hartley with that maximum score. However, this is going to be a bit different. He hasn't got a maximum score here at Warden Law, so that's going to pull things back together. The grid, by the way, is nicely formed. Just coming to the later stages. That puddle's completely disappeared from the inside of the final apex of the horseshoe.
It's much smaller on the exit of turn 1 as well, but there's still a big one going into turn 1. Here they go. Are they going to get? Yep. No. These Primos have gone round so many times every single race.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
What is it?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's got nothing to do with the formation. The formation's fine. When they come out of the final turn, they're accelerating too early. I've been in that box with Dan Ashton as the starter and Clark, etc. And Dan is a stickler, quite rightly, for when they hit that acceleration zone. And if they hit it early, it means they're going to be too fast into turn 1. So he's a stickler for that, and they are not pleasing him with their starting process.
We are not pleased.
He is not pleased, no.
There is no pleasure in your starting procedure.
They're basically accelerating too early.
Yeah, but
that's exactly what it is.
It's fun to say something in a different way. Oh, Gaz Bury's written, after your attempt to get the gloves off the young man, he said, it looks like you do with a third pair of hands.
Was I on camera for that?
No.
Oh, it should have been.
No, it was
No, it was a little bit, yeah. I looked a little bit inept, didn't I?
I didn't know where it was going to go. I thought you might have
I don't know.
turned around and gone, oh, it's pointless. You could have stummed
I wasn't
off.
Yeah, I was.
You were all thumbs, weren't you, really?
I couldn't get his visor up as well. He was delighted, though. He was absolutely ecstatic. And he was happy that he managed to get into the lead on the last lap.
Why wouldn't you be?
It's quite different interviewing a 6 and 7 year old Nick
you've got another one coming up.
Professional race driver. I know I have. I know the final one of the weekend, isn't it?
Right. Are they going to actually let these?
Well, it all depends on how they accelerate off this corner. Let's wait and see. See how they're nicely formed. Bella on the outside in the yellow cart. On the inside there is Stanley Clark, and they get away.
Yep, they've been allowed this time, and Bella's leading. So Fairclough leads into the first corner, getting a little bit wide. Oh, and Stanley spun. So we lost our pole man.
He's took Eddie Stewart with him round the outside there. Stanley Clark just getting a little bit too fast into there. And look at that, Eddie Stewart on the white
Eddie
goes.
there. Yeah, can't do anything
nowhere
about
to
that,
go.
can you?
That's put him down there. Bella Fairclough leads. Daniel Hartley second. That's the number 79 of Alfie Forrester up to third. But here we've got a race for the front, haven't we?
And of course, all bets are off. Hartley's struggles have been down to a snap chain. Fairclough's struggles in her heat was down to a bogged engine. Both have been quick in the wet. It's not wet now. I'd say it's heavy damp. And there's no rain anymore.
Yeah, it's still what we would say a wet track, though, Nick.
It's not like it was earlier.
Well, it's not soaking wet. No, we've not got huge plumes. We've got little bits of specks of rain that's been blown around and into our lens. We've got Bella Fairclough in great form, though. Look at the way that she's just flicking that cart through the horseshoe in a completely controlled way, completely sliding the cart pretty much everywhere. She will cross the line very much in the lead. Daniel Hartley crosses the line second place, 1.1 seconds behind. Then we've got Alfie Forrester. Maya Simpson is fourth. Then that battle for fifth place. Taylor Dixon and Alice Dealey, Riley Mason-Lewis. Eddie Stewart recovers to eighth. Oscar Pitt. And then Tyler Davis is the driver rounding off the top 10. Stanley Clark, by the way, 12th.
12th, yeah. I mean, given the fact he was facing the wrong way and slapping the steering wheel, he's only 8 seconds off the lead, but that's going to be nigh on impossible to make up with the quality of the drivers ahead of him. So Fairclough established herself in a very nice little lead ahead of Hartley. Hartley has a very nice lead as well, and then third again is clear, but now fourth, fifth and sixth have a bit of a scrappage, and it's the 96 trying to get past, so it's the 96 and Myson has been passed during this lap by Taylor Dixon, is now trying to get back past him again.
Yeah, Maya went very well at Glenagores, and different opinion of line through the gasworks there. Alfie Forrester is the cart that's just ahead of her. Is that Alfie Forrester? No, Alfie Forrester's ahead. That's the number.
That's
Taylor Dixon, 43.
Dixon is also now moving forward towards Alfie Forrester. So Dixon will be scored fourth over the line in the second, and absolutely now driving forward rather than looking behind over his shoulder as he attempts to catch back up to the cart currently in third place, which is the 79 of Alfie Forrester.
So we've had 2.5 minutes there with 7.5 minutes to the flag, so plenty of time. Bella Fairclough continues to be the fastest kart on the track, 1 minute 8.752 for her. She extends the lead to 1.7. Daniel Hartley's got 2 seconds to Alfie Forrester in third, and then Taylor Dixon fourth. Maya Simpson still fifth there. Taylor Dixon we thought was going to be pressured by Maya Simpson, but he seems to have dropped her. And if anything, Maya Simpson dropping back to the clutches of Ellis Daly. And Maya Simpson, Ellis Daly and Riley Mason-Lewis there just on her tail. And she's looking like she's about to be threatened, Nick.
Yeah, it all looks like Simpson's going to drop back into the clutches. Now, interesting that whether Dixon can start gaining on Forrester at battle for third. Hartley has that quite nice cushion for second, and then Bella has that nice cushion on Hartley. So the first and second cross the line now. Here comes third and fourth, and they are, again, quite a gap. And then we have these three who are the closest on the track, and that is the Tony Kart liveried 96 that drops back now as the 16 of ASD gets past Maya Simpson in the green and white machine. She comes up now, got the inside of the dog leg, and she's got the right line on him.
Oh, she's got him, Nick. She squeezed it back, didn't she?
Oh, and then
gets him.
Again, it looks like the two teammates there.
Well, they just slowed one another up by going side by side, and then it looks like I'm not sure what that team livery is. It looks a bit like Momentum Motorsport, but I'm not sure whether they are here. Might be doing whatever team that is a disservice. Once again, the number 16, Ellis Dealey, right on the rear bumper now of the 96, which is Maya Simpson. Maya Simpson's on the Tony Kart, off towards the gasworks.
A bit wide there, but it doesn't necessarily mean the disaster it might mean in the drive, because there's so many different options what you can do coming through the hairpin. Temporarily behind, but at the end of it, ahead again.
Yeah, more grip on the outside to get the power down.
The thing is, those two drivers appear to have exactly the same helmet.
Do they? They might be.
Must be. Obviously, it's not
off the shelf.
For a while, you think it's a custom paint. You look at it and it's exactly the same. So it must be. I mean, obviously, a lot of drivers will have a different helmet for the wet. They have a wet helmet and a dry helmet.
Oh, there's the move, though, Nick. Ellis Dealey down the inside of Maya Simpson.
Nudging, absolutely. And Simpson not taking this. She was fastened underneath him here at the dog leg before. Trying it again, but no. You'll find that Dealey decided he was going to get a little bit tighter, stop it from happening, and now this train goes from up to 5 carts. Just to remind you, Fairclough is 2.5 seconds ahead from Hartley at the front, who himself has 4 seconds over Forrester in the 3rd position.
Yeah, we haven't forgot them at the front there, but they have pulled out a bit of a gap. There's more movement down the inside of Maya Simpson. She seems to be struggling for traction. And who's that? That's
Riley Mason.
Riley
Mason's
Stanley
behind
Clark.
it. Mason,
That's Stanley Clark
from the pole. Mason's just behind, and she's moved out, so it's just not a good few laps for Maya Simpson at the moment as these carts come on or go out, depending where they're set, as the track dries out. So let's move forward from this kerfuffle to the one that's now just ahead of it. Just one ahead, Frank.
Yeah, because that's Stanley Clark. He's recovering. He was the pole position driver that went off at turn 1.
And
there he is.
Stopped there.
Tin opener time, wasn't it?
Well,
he used the tin opener to get through there.
In fairness to him, he saw that Dealey went wide, went for it, then Dealey cut back, and he actually did. Looks like he actually did just tap the brakes to get in there rather than to avoid the accident. But in fairness to Stanley, after a terrible start, which it was hard to tell whether it was down to his over-exuberance or a tap from somewhere, and obviously slightly ruining Eddie Stewart's race, he's currently running in 8th. He has now pushed his way through the field, but he has a gap now. The 1, 2, 3, 4 gap is growing. So certainly the gap between 1st and 2nd is bigger. The gap between 2nd and 3rd is bigger. And it's now down to Dixon. Sorry, not Dixon. Down to Clark to try and close down Dixon.
What about Alfie Forrester?
He's gone. He's further back.
So Clark's gotten ahead of Forrester.
Unless I've missed Forrester out.
You have. Alfie Forrester's 4th.
Alfie, I'm really sorry.
You had me completely confused there.
Well, it's nothing. That's not the first time, is it?
No, it's very easy. It's very low threshold there. We
have a low threshold of confusion.
3 minutes remaining, and next on Clark's list is what Nick was trying to say, is Alfie Forrester.
Thank you. Okay. I'm glad when you rewrite my commentary because it definitely improves each time.
So across the line has gone Bella Fairclough. She's completed 6 laps. Daniel Hartley 3.8 behind. 3.7 is Taylor Dixon. 2 seconds to Alfie Forrester.
That's Alfie Forrester there.
And then 1.1 to the chasing Stanley Clark, who has just posted the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 8.111.
2.5 minutes or so to go. So they're going to have probably get what are they doing lapping in 1.8? Probably 3. Might be 4 more, 3.5 more. It might be. It's going to be kind of cuspy where they go across the line. Now 79 is the Alfie Forrester cart, who I've been non-stop talking about. 2 teammates, judging by the liveries. And that's Clark, who started in pole, and it didn't last more than half a corner before he was way down the field. I think he was down as low as about 14th at one point. Slowly climbing through the field. And coming into the hairpin, it looks a little bit like that might be a move by Clark. No, Forrest is saying, no, you're not coming through. And now you can try the inside line off the outside line. I think that's going to work because it's the never-ending left hand. If you're on the inside, you're going shorter. Now a switch back right. He's got the position, so another position gain there by Stanley Clark into 4th place. Just so you know, Fairclough again was a good half second faster than Hartley. Hartley was a good half second faster than Dixon. And Dixon is 2 seconds or 2.7 seconds ahead of Stanley Clark. So Clark's got a lot of work to make that up in 1 minute and 37, which I think is going to be this and 2 more.
So those 2 carts, I would say, are both Bradley Shepherd Racing carts.
Okay.
According to their livery. So Stanley Clark ahead of his teammate. Interesting chat in the awning afterwards. Stanley Clark now chasing down Taylor Dixon. 1 minute 16 remaining. And Clark has got that car going well. I mean, not surprising, Nick, because he was on pole.
Yes.
He's had a great day of racing. He started on pole, but then it all went horribly wrong at turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's been a good day. He's got pace, but, these days you have pace, you have to capitalise on. And he's failed to capitalise on this due to something in the first corner. Maybe an error, maybe a nudge. So he'll be sitting there going, I'm very happy to get the 60 points from the superheats, but have I walked away from 5, 10, 15 points in the final?
4 seconds the gap now between Fairclough and Daniel Hartley.
And he gained about 4/10 that time, didn't he?
Yeah, Hartley puts in his personal best there and does close the gap ever so slightly. Taylor Dixon in 3rd, but then the fastest kart on the track at the moment, Stanley Clark, 1 minute 7.795. That's the fastest lap of the race. The 47 chasing after Taylor Dixon for that final step of the podium. That's the battle there.
They got a lap
There's
and a half
the 47.
to do it. That car, the green helmet, is the lapped or about to be lapped vehicle. It's not helped very much at that point and is sitting on the racing line. So there goes Clark as he chases down Dixon. Now, he did gain well last time. Actually, he went to 1.8, but he's going to need... I think that back marker's not helped because he's probably going to be actually arriving on the back bumper of Dixon just as the race ends in a lap and 4 corners time. So, still Fairclough leading. Still Hartley second. Fairclough will be starting her last lap in just a couple of seconds. We'll just see what the time is for this battle for third and fourth as it comes over the line. And it's actually much closer because Clark took a very, very good line onto that last corner. And that's gone down from 1 point something to nothing. Scored at 0.6, but visually... Oh, and then back marker absolutely in the way of Clark there, and still in the way. That 14 is not beyond the Christmas... It's certainly... Sophia Caldwell is not going to be on Stanley Clark's Christmas card list. I can tell you that for nothing.
But in fairness to Sophie... She was, she held her line. She held her line well.
It's just the options to get round in the wet are much less.
Yeah, and it's reduced the time. I think we should pick up Bella.
So Bella Fairclough is our leader, and she is coming through the chicane right now. Bright yellow, you can't really miss her. And there she is, about to go down through to the Gasworks hairpin in what has been, apart from her engine bogging down, an absolutely superb Sunday for the young lady.
We've seen, you know what, the wins we've seen today have been, apart from the cadet race where it was down to the last lap. I mean, Osnorman, dominant. Bella Fairclough, right now, dominant.
Absolutely.
And absolutely showing everybody the way around. This is absolutely fantastic from the sense of the championship, because Bella Fairclough, we thought who was going to beat Daniel Hartley, who's just crossed the line in second.
So it's not a huge... It's points lost due to what's happened in the rest of the weekend, but it won't be a huge point loss overall. He'll stay in the lead of the championship going into round 4 in a couple of months' time. So... Let's give you the final results. So Bella Fairclough from Daniel Hartley. Taylor Dixon was in third. Stan Clark didn't make it in the end, half a second off, but from being absolutely in 14th place or so, good comeback from pole, such a thing, in fourth. Alfie Forrester, who I apologise for forgetting for at one point, but it's very complicated some days, in fifth. Riley Mason-Lewis in sixth. Eddie Stewart come back to seventh after a lot of bad luck on the first corner. In 8th place is Ellis Delis, Maya Simpson in 9th, Tyler Davis in 10th, Zach Kane in 11th, Ethan Kelly was 12th, Ethan Barth managed the 13th, Oscar Pitt 14th, Laurie McVeigh, Sophia Caldwell still just about to come over the line now, and then Ewan Stevenson. So a couple of people had some problems, as you do in this weather, and it looks like we are absolutely ready to go. So Joe, if you could start talking to Bella now.
Well, Bella, all your fans are out there and they are overjoyed to see. I mean, what a drive that was. You kind of looked very determined from the very outset, didn't you? You were on the front row. Take us through your race, if you would.
So my main goal was to get first in the first lap so I could just drive away, get fast laps and pull a big gap.
Yeah, and that's what you did, didn't you? I mean, you know what? It wasn't even down to the drivers behind you squabbling. That was pure pace that you won that on.
Yeah, I think towards the end I got faster and faster, but it was just head on forward, and that was what I was thinking about the whole race. I'm
going to ask you a question that's probably going to benefit the drivers coming out later. Is the track getting any faster?
Yes, definitely.
It is coming back.
Yes.
Well done. Your dad kept me right. I got my Bellas wrong. I thought I'd seen you race here a few times. You haven't been here for 2 years. The last time you were here was in a cadet. That cart behind you is a bit different than a cadet, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of change since I was here last, so...
What I really loved watching was how you had the kart floating on the surface of the track, and you just kept your speed up. Tremendous. Is that the only way that you can drive a Rotax Max in that condition?
Yeah, it was mainly just understeering, and because it's so wet, like sliding's okay, but as long as you control the kart and get the maximum exit, then yeah, sliding's fine.
What it has done for us, we're in the entertainment business, Bella. We thought it was going to be the Daniel Hartley show this year. It's now the Daniel and Bella show going into rounds 4 and 5. Are you looking forward to them?
Yeah, I thought after last round it was not the best round, but I've managed to get the points back up again, so hopefully championship-wise I'll be heading towards the top.
Great stuff. We'll go off to Rowra next. Do you like that place?
I haven't driven there in a long time, but yeah, I'll look forward to that round.
Well, you haven't driven here in a long time. Your dad told me, and you went very well. Congratulations, Bella. Absolutely outstanding drive. Dad, you should be very proud of that today. Outstanding job. Thanks, guys.